What is going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Today is December 26th, Tuesday, depending on the time they're watching this video. I do want to go ahead and say welcome. Smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you are brand new to the channel as well. So let's go ahead and talk about Solana, right? So it looks like Solana is kind of reaching some sort of top. Something we've been aware about and we've been actually talking about these last couple days. It's actually quite interesting where we've been reaching. So let's go ahead and get this stream started today. Let me go ahead and make sure we are officially live on my end. So let me go ahead and refresh my page real quick. Looks like we are officially live. So let me go ahead and post this over onto my Discord and then notify everybody on Discord real quick. Let's go ahead and do that. And if you have not joined my Discord, go ahead and please do that. Completely free. It is on the description or on the links on my channel. Alrighty, so we just notified everybody currently live. Let's go ahead and do that. We're done with that. Let's go head over to Twitter. Hope all of you are having a good one. Smash that like button. How's it going, Happy? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alrighty. I don't know why my computer's lagging a bit. Dude, today's Tuesday? I thought today was Wednesday. My days are super off. Alright, so let me go ahead and just pull up my stream on my phone. Welcome, 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 everybody who is tuning in to the live stream. Hope all of you are having a good one. Smash that like button for me, for everybody that's tuning in, and make sure to go ahead and drop down the smart contract down below if you want me to go ahead and review any of the projects. It looks like we do have about 8 watchers right now, so go ahead and smash that like button for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in right now. So let's go ahead and do some quick TA for all those that are currently in right now. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and look at what's going to be going on. Let's see some comments that we have going on. Crypto Thoro, who made a 17x or on Solana? I think a lot of people made a lot of money on Solana. How's it going, Ryan? Welcome, Ryan. Welcome, 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 man. Thank you for tuning in, bro. My favorite guy, always showing love since day one. Really do appreciate every one of you. I think a lot of money was being made on Solana. I do want to go ahead and say this, right? Because even though the title is obviously somewhat clickbaity, it does say, you know, Solana going to 69. Is Solana really going to go to 69? Well, I don't know. Let's go ahead and find out. Let's do some technical analysis together. One thing I could go ahead and say, it looks like we have hit some sort of area of support. So now we're going to go ahead and see how it's going to react moving forward, right? So let's go ahead and do some technical analysis, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this is the top for Solana. I've been mentioning how we were getting close to reaching some sort of top. It looks like we actually did make an all-time high at 126 back on actually yesterday, it looks like, and right now we are coming back down, right? So the areas that we need to go ahead and focus on moving forward, which we are more than likely going to get rejected. I think the top is already in. It looks like the top was around 120. Doesn't mean we can't go ahead and try to retest these zones one more time, but let's go ahead and analyze this. Looking at the 4-hourly chart, we do see that our top was around from what I mentioned at 126 from its high, and then its level of support was roaming around 107 107. Actually, let's go ahead and check right here. 108.016 to be exact, and we actually did lose this area of support right here, which I would say was a pretty nice area of support, right? Usually this is not something that's not uncommon where support's been found pretty strongly and then we're followed with a massive dump, right? We usually do that to go ahead and liquidate some people and then have a full-on reversal. So we still have an opportunity of reversing back up. The probabilities of that actually happening, I'm not too confident on that, right? I'm not too confident on that. I think we are more going to the downside. I could be completely wrong, and we're going to go ahead and analyze the daily chart as well because it all changes. We could go ahead and be looking at the hourly or the 15-minute chart, and it could be telling us elsewise, right? So depending on the way you're trading this, if it's like a daily trade or a 15-minute trade, you're going to be doing a swing trade. Depending on the way you're trading Solana, it could be bullish or bearish, right? But let's go ahead and assume that most people are looking at this midterm, long term, right? Looking at Solana right now at the 4-hourly, we do see that it's looking for some sort of area support. If support's not held around here, we are more than likely going to retest 114, and then we're going to go ahead and dump back down, losing the area of support around 101, coming back down to 93, right? And it's going to be the same thing over and over again. The more we lose the support, the more we get rejected on resistance, the further we're going to go ahead and fall. So let's say if Solana does come down to 92, does that mean that's the ultimate bottom before we have that massive leg to the upside? Well, not exactly, because now we have to go ahead and retest the areas of resistance now at the 108, and we could do this whole entire staircase down effect all the way down to my price target of what I said. It's 69, right? I think, can we get as low as that? I don't know. I can't go ahead and tell you right here exactly. I mean, you know, the title was really just to go ahead and get some people excited, because I know a lot of people have been waiting patiently to buy Solana, me myself as well. And this could actually be a pretty good short for Solana if you're looking to go ahead and enter a short, right? If we were to go ahead and have this kind of movement on Solana, I mean, measuring it from this top to this bottom, this is literally a 40% correction, which is exactly what we've been expecting, right? Obviously from the top, it's actually a lot further. That would be indicating a 51% correction, which still in my case, I think it's really bullish. But right now we need to go ahead and focus on these areas of support. And to be honest, as we fall, and I've been mentioning this to everybody, you know, the higher we go, am I saying that correctly? I don't know why my words are coming out like funny, dude. The higher we go, I was saying goal. There you go. That's why. The higher we go, the problem that we get into is that support is really not found, right? For example, like this area right here, this was very weak support, meaning that even same thing with right here, right? This is the reason why we lost this, because it was very weak support. So the higher we go, and as soon as we start to fall, the more people start to panic and start to sell instantly and start getting wrecked. So as soon as we start seeing these areas of support getting broken down to, we are more than highly probable. There's a higher probability that we will go ahead and fall down to these lower levels, right? Because there was really no areas of support around here. As you can see, there's no support. There's really no support right here either that you could call a strong support. I guess the only area that you could call that's a very strong support for Solana would be around the 60 to the 47 range. Does that mean that we're going to have to go down to these areas in order to go ahead and follow this area of support? Not exactly. It doesn't mean that. I'm just, you know, pointing out that we never had any real support established with Solana, meaning that because there was never real support established for Solana, if we do continue to go and fall down, we're going to fall down pretty quickly, right? So if you are looking to go ahead and enter some shorts on Solana, go ahead and make sure to go ahead and use my links down below. Right now, currently BingX right now, 5,000 of sign-up bonuses, no KYC, and then same thing with MEXC. I know a lot of people have been iffy with MEXC, so I would recommend, you know, checking out BingX and then Bybiy if you can, right? Bybiy is obviously one of the most reputable exchanges right now, giving $30,000 in sign-up bonuses. And a lot of people have always asked me, hey John, what is the best VPN to go ahead and use? Well, I prefer NordVPN, especially because we just collaborated with them and they are giving a pretty good deal, 69% off with 3 months that they're giving out for free. So definitely go ahead and check them out on that. I will go ahead and post a link. How's it going, Dabmaster? Andrew, how's it going, Andrew? Hope you guys are having a good one. Dwayne, welcome. Hope all of you are having a good day today. Happy holidays too as well, by the way. So yeah, so right now what we're seeing with Solana, there's some very critical areas, right? As I mentioned, the higher we go, the harder we're going to fall down. So don't be surprised if we do see Solana coming down very quickly. This is not a video telling you that Solana is going to instantly crash. I think, you know, Solana realistically still has the potential to even retest down to the 92 and still bounce back pretty strongly, right? Because of the community. The Solana community is really strong. So I don't want you to go ahead and think that I'm completely bearish, but I have been bearish in this market overall. So right now with what we're seeing in the market, it's a little better. I mean, the stock market's obviously higher than expected as usual. DXY is doing his thing. So we're going to go ahead and see if this whole entire market does reverse and comes down with the correction, or if it's only going to be the tokens that did really well, like Solana. That's on the 4 hourly, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the 1 hourly. The 1 hourly does look like it's trying to go ahead and find that area of support. As soon as we lose the support at the 101 chat, we're going to go ahead and come down to these levels at 80 and down below, right? Which I think is going to be really good for many of us, because we've actually been waiting very patiently for these areas of you know, all of these areas of support. We've literally been waiting for this, but don't celebrate yet, right? And the reason why I want to go ahead and say this is because if we actually go all the way back over here, we've seen Solana enter this phase where, you know, it makes new highs and it slightly dumps and it consolidates. So if we are still bullish, there could be a probability where Solana just consolidates in this area for a few days, maybe a week and a half before we have the next breakout. I would say at the most maybe a week, and that's just following based on what we've seen with Solana previously, right? Where it consolidates, it breaks out, and then right here too as well, it consolidates and then it breaks out. So if this is the same pattern that we're following with Solana, this will still take us to our bullish prediction of Solana breaking towards 214, right? So realistically, no one really knows what the top is. We're just going to go ahead and go based on an everyday kind of thing, depending on what supports and resistance are broken or met. That's the way we're going to analyze this. I'm not here to go ahead and predict exactly where the bottom of, you know, any crypto asset is, whether it's Solana or Bitcoin. I'm just here to go ahead and do my daily analysis and then just literally walk you through every day and just look at areas, because you don't want to be delusional, right? The last thing you want to go ahead and do and say, you know what, Solana's looking super bullish, and then it starts breaking our areas of support and then people start getting wrecked, right? And most people are going to get wrecked on mostly a lot of the Solana meme tokens, because the way Solana moves is definitely going to affect the Solana meme token space as well, right? So that's what I would say, and it's actually quite interesting how this was my area of support. I can't remember how I found this area of support. I really wish I knew why I put this area of support right here. That's the reason why, because this was previously an area of resistance, and you know, previously when there's an area of resistance, it becomes our support. So this literally this square, this support that I put here, that was literally a few days ago. Like, this wasn't even today. I haven't touched the charts with Solana ever since yesterday, right? So literally the thing that I'm basing everything out of is based on previously from 2021 and 2022, and this is where Solana was at. Where it was struggling to break these resistance. So right now we do see like we are finding those area of support. So more than likely, if we do go ahead and fall down below this area right here where we just drew our area of support, we are more than likely going to be coming down, and my price target will be around 69 to 75. This is where my price target ideally would be for Solana if we do go ahead and continue to break down to the downside, which would be right here around 75. So even regardless of the case, it's not that bad of a dump. I mean, look at it. That's a 30% retracement. If you do go ahead and measure it from this top, I guess this will be taking us a little bit over the 40% retracement, which would be very healthy for everybody that is bullish on Solana. And this would definitely bring in more investors and more money to go ahead and invest. As I mentioned too as well, is that this is a massive cup and handle pattern if it is formed and we do retrace to these zones before we go ahead and retrace and have these areas met. For me, this is where I'm going to be super bullish for Solana. If we see Solana break down to these areas of support, this is where maybe you might want to consider going all in. Not financial advice, but this is going to be our buy signal, in my opinion, that Solana, even if Solana was to go ahead and drop down, let's say even lower, down to 50 to 40, I think regardless of that, I think this is still a buy signal to know that Solana will go ahead and reach that target of $500 and above, which I do believe Solana will be reaching. As I mentioned, you know, Bitcoin is going to be the first one to go ahead and get that ETF approval, and then as soon as we get that, I do believe Solana and all these other meme tokens, or not meme tokens, all these other altcoins will go ahead and follow through as well. So let me know down below, what do you guys think? Hey, Ganasi's Network, how's it going? Hey bro, happy to see you today. Glad to see you today, man. Why you just dollar cost average into Solana? I definitely will. I will be dollar cost averaging this month. Right now, I'm just literally waiting for what the market's gonna do. I think regardless of where the market's going to take us, I think Solana needs to retrace, and so does the whole crypto market as well, right? So whether I miss out on a pump or not, I know there's going to be a dump eventually, and when the dump does come in, that's where I'm going to go ahead and focus more on adding to bigger positions. But I think right now our main focus should be, obviously not financial advice, would be loading up on these projects that nobody's, you know, really thinking about. Like, for example, Unibot. I think Uniswap is the next play. What else? 1inch, Bake, focusing on Harvest. I think Harvest is another one. Is it Harvest or Farm? Let's see. I think it might be Harvest. Harvest. Oh no, I think it might be Farm. Yeah. Let's see. Farm. There you go. Farm. This token was over $300 last bull run, which doesn't mean it's going to happen, but look, based on the 24 hours, is up 42%. And I've been telling all of you that I was very, very bullish on Harvest. And this is actually a token that Black Ranger actually called out and has been telling us since September, right? Since it was at around the levels of around $20 to $30. Harvest was at these levels right here. And Harvest is a DeFi protocol. So this is like a staking and lending protocol. And as I mentioned, when we start to get more of the inflow of the DeFi money into the space, it's going to go into these platforms, right? So Farm is one of them, and right now, as you see, its all-time high was around $500 back in 2021. Do I think it's going to do something very similar to that? I can't tell you exactly. One thing I could tell you is that the supply is very, very low. They have a 684,000 supply with a 39 million market cap, right? So if we continue to have this kind of momentum where a lot of money is being injected into crypto, it's going to get injected into DeFi, which is going to go ahead and start pumping projects such as Uniswap, 1inch, PancakeSwap, Cake, and all these DeFi protocols. Radium, which Ganasso's network was actually talking about on one of his videos, so go ahead and check him out. These are things I believe we should all be focusing on right now, right? Since everybody's so hyped up about the Solana meme tokens and turning $40 into 15 million. I think while everybody's getting distracted by the shiny things, we should go ahead and start focusing on the gaming and the DeFi aspect and BRC20. I know Ganassos was telling me about BRC20. I mean, obviously this is something that's getting hyped up. I don't even know how to buy or do any swaps on BRC20, right? So this is something I have to go ahead and educate myself in. But this is what we need to be focusing on right now, right? We need to be focusing on learning how to use these new protocols. Like, for example, I haven't used freaking Solana in forever. Like, last time I used Solana was like last bull run, which is actually my NFT that I bought. It's a Solana NFT. I lost the keys to my wallet, so there's no way of recovering any of that. So now I just got this, now I ended up playing back with Solana, right? I'm trying to get these ecosystems. I'm starting to play with them once again to understand them and know how to navigate them. So when we do start having this big momentum with these meme tokens or new protocols, you know how to use them, right? So right now, I would say our focus should be focusing on ecosystems that we might not know how to use, like AVAX. I don't know how to use AVAX. I believe you have to use Trader Joe's from what Tillery was telling me. I've never used AVAX. You know what I mean? Actually, I think 3 days ago was actually my first time swapping a Solana meme token. Like, I've never bought any Solana tokens because I don't even think they were a thing last bull run. I think it was just NFTs from my understanding. So you have to go ahead and start learning how to use these protocols, so when they do start to take off, you at least know how to go in and go out. Because by the time they're already reaching tops and you're hearing these stories about, like, you know, people turning $40 into 15 million, you're a little too late to the party. And I've been kind of warning everybody about that, right? As I mentioned, this is not a video to go ahead and panic anybody into Solana. It's just a video for you to look at these critical areas and just understand that as long as Solana continues to hold this area of support, we should be good. But I do think that if we were to lose this area right here, which is around the 101 or the 99, I do think it's going to be looking extremely bearish for Solana, and it might be worth placing a short for everybody that wants to go ahead and leverage trade. It could be an opportunity for us to make some money leverage trading Solana with a short all the way down. I mean, that's about a what, 40% retracement, which is actually not too bad. That's a nice little short, and then you just buy up the dip and you just long the market from, hopefully if this is the bottom, just long it from here and up. But who knows where the bottom is, and that's what we're going to be looking at. And the thing is too, as I mentioned, is that because Solana previously has just dumped like crazy, there's a reason why Solana dumped down a lot too, because when it was climbing up at these levels, Solana never had an actual real area of support. So obviously if support was never really met, it's going to fall through very easily. And this is the same thing right here. This is probably the only kind of support that Solana has. And if we do lose this thing's going to come down pretty quickly. And because this isn't strong support either, we are more than likely probably going to fall back down. But I don't see these levels being reached, to be honest. I don't see these levels being reached. I mean, realistically, we could go ahead and see it go as low as probably $48. but time will tell. I'm not here to go ahead and call out $48 first. Let's go ahead and do what's very, very realistic and possible, and that's around the price target of $75 to $69 of Solana. That's very, very doable and still super, super bullish, right? So let's go ahead and focus on those areas. I don't know if Solana will go ahead and fall down to these levels again. If it does, I think that's going to be very, very nice, and I think a lot of people will appreciate that dip, I think, in my opinion, because regardless, as I mentioned, it's still bullish. Even if we were to go ahead and call this, let's say, the top, and let's say $40 is the bottom of Solana because of a very strong area of support, that thing's still going to reverse long term and be approaching higher highs, which in my opinion would be the most healthiest thing for Solana, period. Cisco, how's it going, my guy? Yatoshi's about to break out at any moment. Let's go ahead and check out Yatoshi. Is it Yodo? Is that the token Yodo? Let's see where Yodo's at. Yodo. 10 million market cap, 385,000 of liquidity. Let's look at the smaller time frames. It definitely is establishing a very nice area of support, which is really good. As I mentioned, you know, meme tokens usually don't follow any technical analysis, but you could say that it has been, you know, it has been respecting it pretty well. In order for Yodo to go ahead and continue to go to an uptrend and confirm that this is finally its bottom, you want to go ahead and see a break above these levels, which I will go ahead and highlight for all of you if you are looking to trade this. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. I'm more of a visual person, so I would rather go ahead and do like colors, and you know what I mean. I think it's a lot better to go ahead and see these levels. I would say at least as long as we go ahead and see Yodo. Let me go ahead and get my marker out real quick. Or actually, let's go ahead and use this. As long as we see Yodo break above this zone right here and at least hold this area of support, then that's going to go ahead and confirm the bottom for me. So we would ideally like to go ahead and see Yodo do some sort of movement like this. And this would go ahead and confirm that this has finally broken from this consolidation period, from this downtrend coming down. And that's what we would like to go ahead and see. If you were looking to go ahead and buy Yodo, typically you would like to go ahead and see a confirmation of a breakout, because we usually sometimes do have fake outs where it could go ahead and break out and then just literally crash everybody, which typically happens a lot. So if you want to go ahead and wait for confirmation, I would go ahead and wait for this kind of move and then follow with a pullback, because that's usually what happens, right? As you see right here, all the way from this back end, you see right here, before it had a massive pump to the upside, this had a massive pullback, and that would be your confirmation to go ahead and buy in and buy up the dip. You just have to understand these kind of levels. As I mentioned, you just never know though, because meme tokens just freaking pump, and they can literally pump like crazy back to back. Cisco, how's it going, my guy? Welcome, 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 everybody. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Turn on post notifications. Cisco says, I'm a big Sol holder. I really hope it will go lower to buy more at cheap prices. Not sure if it will happen, as most traders are waiting for a big dip, maybe V-shape, a dump pump like recovery afterwards. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I think a lot of people like myself and a lot of people that are traders and really do see the potential of Solana, I think this was a confirmation for them to go ahead and say, you know what? Solana is the move, and they're going to go ahead and wait for the lower prices. They're not going to be buying these high prices. The only people that are buying these high prices on Solana right now are the retail investors, the newbies, the people that don't understand how the market works, right? They think that this thing's going to go ahead and go on forever, which realistically Solana could go ahead and hit as high as $250 like literally by tomorrow, right? Because that's the reality of crypto. This is the reason why I don't like it calling exactly tops and bottoms. The only reason why I've been calling for a warning on Solana and the whole entire market in general is because we are seeing some critical areas in the market, right? But with that being said, I think a lot of people that are looking to go ahead and buy Solana like myself and are looking to go ahead and either enter long positions, this is a confirmation for all of us to say, you know what, Solana's momentum is there. Let's go ahead and wait for this retracement to happen. Let's short the top if we can ride the wave, short the top, and then ride the wave from the bottom all the way to the top again, right? So I think a lot of people will go ahead and buy up the dip with Solana. So that's kind of the reason why I'm saying we don't know exactly where the bottom will come in. But what I could go ahead and say that if we do start to lose support at where we're at right now at the 101.479, we are going to be coming down quickly, like quickly. And that's why that's why I was telling everybody, like, it takes longer to go to the upside, chat. It takes a lot longer to reach these levels. It takes a lot longer. Like, if you measure how many days it actually took to reach these areas right here, it took literally over what, 70 days? Over 70 days, almost 90 months, which is what, equivalent to 2 months. It took about almost 2 months to go ahead and reach these levels. But trust me, when it comes down, it's going to come down quick. You're talking about a matter of weeks. It could literally this crash with Solana could literally happen in a month, where we see it follow its loses support and literally come all the way down to these levels literally within a month. It always takes longer to reach the rocket fuel, but it's so much easier for the downfall. And that's just due to the reason that a lot of people panic sell and all of that. But I do think a lot of dips will be bought out on this, and a lot of people are patiently waiting for the Solana dip. Ganacia's network says, I think weekly DCA is way better than waiting for a big dip that might not happen to the level you want. Bro, don't miss out the Bitland pre-sale. That could be an easy 40x. What is a Bitland pre-sale, bro? Is that the one you sent me today? Yeah, let me go ahead and check, dude. Like, this is what we need to look at, man. Is it this one right here? Is this Bitland? Oh, this is Bitland. All right. This is what I need to look into. I got to understand how to use this. Yeah, I do think that could be a 40x easily. I agree with you. I got to learn how to use that. AOG, how's it going? How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lisa, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy holidays. Ordinals, yeah, I agree with you. Nipsey the Bulldog, how's it going? Where can I find the Bitland presale? Yeah, 100%, bro. Where can we find that? Syntax, how's it going? Cisco, full moon today. Incredible pump incoming. Yeah, full moon was actually yesterday for me, dude. I had some really nice pictures. I really wish I could go ahead and share those pictures with all of you. Actually, I think I can. Crypto Thor, what do you think will be the market cap of Thereto? Honestly, I don't like doing predictions on meme tokens, especially with, like, when it comes to market caps. But this thing could definitely go ahead and reach. What was his all-time high? That's what my question is. Let's go ahead and see. Damn, this was up a lot. This was up at least over what? 20, 30, 40, 50. This was once worth over a 60 million market cap. So I think with the hype with Thereto, I think it could probably be easily over 100 million market cap if it continues with this momentum. Inspiration, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dabmaster, I'm all in. I traded my last 2 SOL for slow. Yeah, Solana is not going to go too deep that much, honestly speaking. Let's go ahead and look at slow. Slow. 3.1 million market cap, 253,000 liquidity. Their volume's insane. I mean, one thing we need to focus with this is the supply. The supply is very low. It's at 898 million. So this thing was to surpass over 100 mil. This thing is going to be climbing up very, very quickly. And this is kind of an example of what I was showing you, right? Usually when we have fake outs like this, like for example, this was a cup and handle pattern forming. We retested this area of resistance and then we got rejected, right? This is kind of the reason why we never especially if you're leverage trading, ever want to go ahead and enter a trade during this zone right here. You might get lucky sometimes, but sometimes it's always follow with a fake out, right? Because they know everybody's looking at that exact pattern. Like I was looking at this cup and handle pattern. It did actually retest that area of resistance and it got rejected back down. So in order to go ahead and confirm this next time, usually I've noticed with these kind of fake outs that they have on the cup and handle pattern, they go ahead and reject it. They go ahead and push it back down a little bit lower, and then has a massive pump to an upside, breaking past through that area of resistance. So this could be taking off very, very soon as well. As I mentioned, your key zone area we want to focus on is 6839. So this would be the key zone that you want to focus on. If you want to go ahead and wait for a trade for this to happen, I would go ahead and say you would have to see this break and hold above it, which would be at least 1x. But if you don't want to go ahead and, you know, predict the market and try to hit the market all at once, you're better off just buying right now if that's what you believe in, right? That's what it is with a lot of these meme tokens. We can sit here, do Fibonacci retracements, and do all of this, and it's sometimes it does respect these levels, but for the most part, it usually doesn't. It usually doesn't, right? There's more fake outs if anything, and usually the areas of support and resistance are broken out very, very quickly. But honestly, this chart doesn't look too bad for being a meme token. This chart doesn't look it doesn't look too bad. I've seen worse. I've seen charts really, really bad where you can't really even understand what's going on. Give me some monkey meme coin or frogs because I missed that on Ponky, but still SS ship and my name is Key. LOL. I'm buying the dip. All right, Key. I just keep on calling you shorts. All right, Key. Give it all for Key, all right? Yeah, but right now, honestly, the problem with Ponky, and this is what I kind of want to tell everybody about this, right? The problem with Ponky, which is actually not bearish, I mean, it's actually quite bullish, but people are probably already losing hope at these levels. The thing with Ponky is that they actually got announced and listed on MEXC, and I've been telling everybody that typically a lot of these tokens have the MEXC effect, meaning every time one of these tokens get listed on MEXC, they typically dump. They either get followed with like a massive pump to the upside where it pumps for literally like maybe at the max 30 minutes and then it follows with a dump. Like I've made so much freaking money like literally like longing projects when they get listed on MEXC for like 15 minutes and then just shorting them, dude. It's like easy freaking money. It's like you almost feel like you're the Federal Reserve printing money out of thin air. and I've noticed that. That's what I'm telling all of you. Like, know this now, that if you see a token that you're holding on to and they say, oh, MEXC announcements coming, dude, not financial advice. You might want to go ahead and sell. I'm just letting you know, because this is a MEXC effect. It happens time over again. It's like almost proven. It's like a meme. Like MEXC is a meme on its own, where a lot of these meme tokens always freaking dump every time MEXC lists them on their exchange. Tarek, how's it going, my guy? Solarium. All right, let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, thank you everybody for the applauses. And if it's a negative, SS SHIB is consolidating, trust me. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at SS SHIB right now. But Ponky is actually doing pretty... Wait, actually, it was. Let me go ahead and look at this Fibonacci retracement. As I mentioned, usually Fibonacci's is a hit or miss, especially with meme tokens. But we are actually at the 618. We are actually at the 618, chat. So this is actually not bearish for Ponky. Is actually quite bullish. If we do go ahead and lose this area of support right here on Ponky, we are going to go ahead and dump. This is going to go ahead and come back down even further. So Ponky is actually at this area of support. There could be a probability if we don't go ahead and reverse right here, then this thing's going to go ahead and continue to dump down even further. So you could expect another additional 30 to 40% retracement on Ponky. But yeah, that's just the way the narrative dies so quick. I mean, literally Ponky went from like literally over 40 million plus market cap overnight, like in a day. Literally 40 million plus market cap in a day. Like, you can't make this thing up. Let's go ahead and look at SS SHIB and continue to show me some more tokens. If you want to show some tokens, just go ahead and put the smart contract down below. SS SHIB is down about 35%, 43% on the 24 hours. See, the thing is, as I mentioned, that because a lot of these meme tokens rely a lot on Solana, when we do go ahead and see a retracement on Solana, a lot of these meme tokens will go ahead and take a bigger dip, right? That's kind of like the only, I guess, con to it. It's like you're almost pretty much leverage trading. It does look like we are slightly a little bit lower than the 618, but we're almost on the 618. So as long as we don't lose this area of support, I would say SHIB, SS SHIB will continue to go ahead and skyrocket, which I do think the narrative overall, it's actually pretty bullish. I don't think this thing's going to die down very quickly. If anything, most people are probably going to take advantage of this dip. Maybe I might take advantage of this dip. I have to check how much dollars I got left in my wallet. The good thing is though, is that I'm definitely going to be getting paid this week, so I might be able to degen into some projects, but I don't know. I might just go ahead and dollar cost average on a lot of these tokens. Unless we see the market reverse, then I think I might go ahead and do some leverage short positions, because that would be really good. You know, I think there's more. I think there's a, as I mentioned, shorting whatever top of the market we're gonna reach, you're gonna make a lot more money than longing it, because shorting it, people are gonna freaking panic because they're all gonna be getting excited for the ETF, and as soon as they see like a little 20% retracement, you know, 10% retracement, they're gonna be panicking, and then we just start dumping quickly. Like, we fall quicker. It takes us longer to go. It's like going up a hill, right? It's like if you're going up a hill, like imagine, like, have you ever been climbing up a hill, or, you know, maybe drove a vehicle up a hill? Like, you might struggle a bit going up, but by the time you reach the top, coming down, you come down so freaking quick, right? You don't even notice. You're like, damn, that was a quick freaking a freaking walk. Even if you're walking even if you're hiking, right? When you're hiking, like, the worst part is going up the mountain. Coming down is very easily. You just literally, with the momentum of your body, you just kind of slowly like go down. It's kind of the same thing here. It's as soon as we go ahead and reach that top, we're gonna go ahead and come crashing down very, very quickly, very, very quickly. But I actually like this token right here, 42% up today. Damn, I think I'm gonna have to load up on some of these tokens right now. We're gonna look at what is it, Solarium. Juan, how's it going, Juan? Welcome, man. Solana coin is going down under $85 by January 6th. Three Kings gift. What does that mean, Juan? Thank you for your analysis. See, I don't do predictions by exactly what date, but I do agree with Juan, and I do believe that it is going to go ahead and come down. Key. It's Key, right? Is it Key or Keen? Let's see. Key. It is Key. I got it perfectly, actually. Key. Yeah, Key. I see whales buying at a bunch. Whales aping in as we speak. I've seen someone buy 38,000 and 5,000. Then F Pokey. Pokey, not S Shib. We strong in Telegram. That's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, we're holding some pretty good areas of support. You know, as long as, see, the thing is, this is the only scary part, right? We have these two scenarios where we're getting close to. If Solana doesn't, you know, reverse, which I wouldn't be surprised if we do, because right now it looks like the dollar still continues to crash, which we're going to go do some TA on the dollar. But if Solana doesn't soon reverse, there could be two of these scenarios, right? A lot of these Solana meme tokens are going to die. They're going to die. If we see a 30% correction on Solana, a lot of these meme tokens are going to die. That's just the reality of what it is, right? That's typically what happens. Same thing with ETH. Same thing with a lot of these tokens, is that it's either the narrative dies or the token dies because Solana dumps so much that people panic. And one of the worst scenarios is the community, the token dies, right? After this dump with Solana, whether it dumps to 69, 85, 54, whatever the case is, 85, the token dies. That's the worst case scenario. You lose all your freaking money. The second case scenario is the community is so freaking strong that they just buy up the freaking dip, and they're even more bullish, and they quadruple down on their position, literally surpassing all-time highs. And those are the only two case scenarios that could happen with Solana meme tokens. And this goes with every meme token, right? It always follows with this kind of narrative. Is if the base token, for example, like Ethereum or Solana, are pumping and dumping, as soon as they dump, either the community completely dies down or the token makes new all-time highs. Those are the two cases that always happen with meme tokens, and that's why meme tokens are super risky. But let's go ahead and see this token right here that Tarek was giving us. Where's it at? Let me go ahead and refresh my page. I think it's right here. There you go. Alrighty. Solana is Ethereum. I've heard about this one for sure. Dude, 127,000. That's freaking insane. This is freaking insane. 1.23 million of market cap. Yeah, this is freaking insane. Look at this thing just pumping. I'm actually surprised they have a website. Let's see what their website is. Most tokens don't even bother you doing a website. You heard of Bybiy? I haven't heard of Bybiy. Can you go ahead and provide the smart contract key? Pepe coin on ETH and everything was bearish, including ETH, and Pepe coin went crazy because of the Pepe community. Yeah, that's the thing. That's usually how it works with a lot of these meme tokens. It's either, you know, they either die or they rocket. And I've seen it happen time over time. Which one's Bybiy? Key? Can you go ahead and provide the smart contract of that, please? Don't tell me it's based on this freaking tweet, dude. Solana is Ethereum. Solana is Ethereum level 2 through the wormhole Egan layer. The heck does that mean? I did see this one yesterday, I believe. When I was on Telegram, I was looking at this. I was watching this, and I was going to buy some, but I was like, no, and I didn't. But, yeah, I mean, this looks like this could be the play. I typically wouldn't buy, you know, when it's mooning, though. If you do see a retracement, buy it. Not financial advice. But the dips are getting eaten up pretty quickly. I mean, look at this. It's quite interesting how we see these massive dumps and just follow with these big buys out of nowhere. You know, $300 and $200 on Solana is actually quite big, believe it or not. It's actually a good amount. Because typically you see the liquidity move very quickly. I mean, look at it right now. When have you ever seen this kind of movement? Unless it was like leverage trading, you'll see these kind of movements, but not on freaking meme tokens right now. Like, this is freaking insane, the kind of movements you see. It looks like it has established an area of support though, so this is actually quite bullish on the 3-minute chart. Look at that. This could be a next breakout. I'm gonna go ahead and post this on chat. That's a good, that's actually a good play. I want to know how to buy this though. Bitland zone. This is going to be a pre-sale. The first Bitcoin social metaverse driven by AI. How do we get the airdrop? How does this work? Interesting. So this is going to be a pre-sale. I just want to know how we're going to be able to buy this pre-sale. Ganasa's network actually told me about this. I just want to know how we could participate on this because, you know, pre-sales is usually where you make your money. That's usually the way, especially anything with ordinals, dude. Like, they've always freaking pump. Like, every freaking time, anything with ordinals, it always freaking pumps. How do we buy this? Let's do some research on this. Do you have some good Telegram channel gems? The only thing I use for Telegram Tarek is, if I pronounce your name correctly, is this. Watch. I'll go ahead and show you the channel. You probably already use it, but this is the only channel I use. And Ganas says, how do we enter the presale, bro? I definitely want to go ahead and know how we could do that. This is the only thing I use for Solana meme tokens, is this. And this is the only, look, do you see this? I saw this earlier last night. Solana is Ethereum. I should have freaking bought it, dude. I don't know why I didn't buy it. This is the only channel that I use for calls, I guess you want to call it. This thing right here tells you like all the tokens that are either trending or people are buying. I know Helium was a play out once. I think that thing dumped a lot. I mean, dude, honestly, it's like a 80% chance you're gonna lose your money, a 20% chance you might find actually a good project. Peppa Inu, 7,000 market cap. Interesting. So yeah, this is the platform that I use when it comes to looking for meme tokens. I'll go ahead and post that right there for you. Solana is Ethereum, looks extremely risky. I wouldn't get in there. Yeah, I mean, everything looks risky, honestly, with Solana. You need to buy Bake token, bro. Do you own Bitcoin? I don't. And also, you need a Unisat wallet to get its token. Send the TG channel. All right, I just sent it. Okay, so I need to buy the Bake token. Can you do like a video on how we could go ahead and enter this presale? What is a presale, bro, by the way? Because I definitely want to go ahead and buy this. Like, I think this is like one of the... Dude, I'm telling you, I've seen all these ordinals, BRC20 tokens literally pump like freaking crazy. Like, let's go ahead and check them out. Let's see. Let's go to BRC20. I think Sats was like the first one, no? That doesn't tell us exactly where it was at. I think it was Ordi. Look at that massive pump. Look at that too. That's insane. I believe more in Bitcoin Cash, to be honest. But moving forward, I am going to start loading up on a lot more of these higher cap altcoins. I just never believed in all these altcoins, to be honest. And the thing is like last bull run, I lost literally everything. I lost all my freaking money. So I'm like literally starting all over, all the way from ground zero. And that's kind of the reason why I don't have literally no cryptos, dude. Literally lost everything last bull run. So I'm rebuilding my back once again. But I do think, you know, Bitcoin is definitely something I believe everybody should have. You know, I would have never thought about that years ago. I was more of just an altcoin degen player. I've only liked holding on to altcoins and mostly meme coins. That was my play. But definitely, you know, this year, once we start making a lot more money, I'm definitely going to go ahead and start like buying a few dollars of Bitcoin, you know, maybe like $100 or $50. I would rather hold on to Bitcoin Cash though. I think Bitcoin Cash has more potential, and it's actually the original Bitcoin, you know. So I would rather hold on and own Bitcoin Cash than Bitcoin. That's just me personally. And even if you see Bitcoin Cash from its all-time high from last bull run, you see that it was at $1,300 or $1,400. And back in 2017, we saw Bitcoin Cash approach $3,000 and above. And I think those are the kind of levels that we could see with Bitcoin Cash once this bull run starts. And the reason why is because Grayscale is heavily invested into Bitcoin Cash. And as I mentioned, all you have to do is just follow the money, follow big money, follow where the big money is going. And I could probably assure you that maybe Bitcoin Cash is also going to get an ETF in the future. And that's going to go ahead and cause the price to skyrocket on Bitcoin Cash, surpassing $3,000 and above. So I would say, you know, Bitcoin Cash, if you're like a person that doesn't have like a boatload of freaking money, like if you're not already making like $500,000 and above, like if you're making $500,000 and above a year right now, I think you should at least have some Bitcoin. But if you're not, I think your best bet would be, going into Bitcoin Cash and holding on more onto altcoins so you could get closer to reaching, $500,000 and above, and then that's when you could be buying the higher cap altcoins. In my opinion, it just depends on what your risk level is, right? Like I'm like in a age zone right now. I'm 25 right now, so I'm in the zone right now where I have to make money, like very fast money, quick. You know what I mean? It's like, it's especially with inflation. I feel like my generation is pretty effed up already. So I'm in a zone where I have to take on more risk, and be willing to understand the market a little bit more and get early onto these projects to literally make a decent amount of money, to have that life changing money. To come in, to be able to diversify into real estate and all that. But if you have a career already, which I know a lot of you do, making over six figures and above, making $500,000 a year in your career or business, then yeah, I would definitely say you why aren't you holding on to Bitcoin, right? Why aren't you holding on to Bitcoin? But I feel like for people that are under a certain amount of income, I think if you're making under, if you're under, at least I would say, if you're working a minimum wage job where you're in your early 20s, early 30s, and you don't really have a career that you're not making over at least $500,000 and above, I think even six figures could be a decent way to go ahead and start diversifying into these riskier assets. I think you should be a little bit more onto risk on. That's just my opinion. I think if you're not in that level, that bracket where you're already making that kind of money, you have to expose yourself to being a little bit more, I don't want to say degenerate, but being a little bit more into that side of risking, willing to risk a little bit more, because playing it safe, let's say a typical person's making an average income of like under 50 grand a year, and they're stacking up on Bitcoin. It's like, yes, that's going to play in the long run, but realistically, you're not really going to make crazy gains. You know what I mean? But if you're making, let's say, 50 grand, under 50 grand a year, and you're doing okay, and you're investing into, let's say, like Solana and these altcoins, and you're heavily invested into a lot of these lower cap altcoins, for example, like Metaverse and meme tokens, and you have some sort of level of exposure on your portfolio, let's say 30% or lower cap to meme coins, you have a higher probability of making more money in that area, willing to risk a little bit more, and then just diversify that income back into these tokens, which I wish I would have done last month. Last month when I made about 30 grand on Pepe, I wish I would have like at least saved half of that and thrown it into these higher cap altcoins, because I would have never gotten wrecked if I would have continued to trade a lot of these meme tokens. And that's a problem with these meme tokens. The problem with these meme tokens is that once you enter a range, especially if you're leverage trading meme tokens, you enter a range where you're just overexposed, and it's just not worth leverage trading a meme token with $20,000 and above, or even $8,000 and above with 10 or 20x leverage. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've done. Like, honestly, like looking back, I'm like, dude, what was I thinking? Like, why would I go ahead and do, put $20,000 with 10x leverage or 20x leverage on Grok, dude? It just made no sense, and then that's the exposure of risk. That's just dumb. See, that was just complete dumbness that I didn't know that was a thing, right? I thought exchanges were going to have enough liquidity, but it comes out that when we're trading these meme tokens on leverage with liquidity, and even if it's $10,000, but you're using 10, 20, 30x leverage, dude, for you to get freaking, not only for you to get liquidated, but for you to close your position, it requires liquidity, a decent amount of liquidity. And I've lost a lot of money when I was trading a lot of these meme tokens on leverage, because I wasn't able to exit on my stop loss or my take profit, because the liquidity was really bad. And I'm not sure if it's an exchange thing or if it's a freaking meme coin thing, but now I know moving forward that even if I was to make a nice fat bag on meme tokens on leverage, I would never trade a meme token with no more than $4,000 leverage. Maybe at the max $8,000, but I would never do $20,000 or $30,000 ever again, unless he's on a decentralized exchange. But I would never do it on leverage. That was like the dumbest thing I've ever done, honestly. But you live and you learn, you know? You should have at least 50% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. Even 0.1 BTC is a good start. I agree with you, Cisco. I agree with you. Ganacia's network says, don't miss it, bro. That will explode. Last presale did a 30x. How do we get the presale, bro? I really need it. But Roger Ver's manipulation, Bitcoin Cash. I mean, Bitcoin is so centralized. Based on what my analysis and my research of what I've done, there's a reason why Bitcoin's worth $42,000. Like, tell me what is the value of Bitcoin being worth $42,000? That's like the government telling us the value of our currency, right? Depending on the country that you live in. But, you know, let's say, for example, the US says that the dollar is worth this much money and people have to respect it. Says who? You know, what is it backed by? And we kind of go back with the same thing with Bitcoin, in my opinion, is, and all these cryptocurrency assets is who says that should be the price? Who says Bitcoin should be worth $42,000? I understand there's a supply and demand and there's a halving, but regardless of the case, who pushes the price action up, right? There has to be somebody in the back end pushing the price action up to make it more desirable. And with that being said, it's like, if we really look at the perspective of everything in the world, it's like you really start to question everything in the world and realize everything's a freaking scam. You know what I mean? Like even Tether USDT, right? Well, we've seen a lot of articles of them literally printing money like the Federal Reserve to go ahead and keep the coin stable, which is literally the same thing as what the Federal Reserve does. And it's similar thing that FTX did, the reason why it collapsed. You know what I mean? So realistically, like who tells us that the value of a price should be that price? You know, how do we not know there's outside manipulation going on to push the price action up even higher? And there is, you know. In my opinion, I think there is. And in my opinion, I believe Bitcoin, it's super, super centralized. I think Bitcoin, it's probably one of the most centralized cryptos out there. And I think, you know, obviously it was done with a purpose. And I do believe that as soon as we get that ETF, we will be expecting more manipulation coming into the space. And that's the only reason why I'm bearish on the whole entire thing. But, you know, from what I know, a lot of big players in the back end have control of the miners of Bitcoin. So they pretty much control Bitcoin at this point. And same thing with a lot of these crypto assets. So that's kind of the reason why I've never really been too much of a maxi. I mean, you know, that's why I like the idea of Bitcoin Cash for me personally, based on what I understood. But even if we go back to that, it just seems like everything's a freaking scam at this point. Like who determines the price action, right? The same thing with Solana. Like, a lot of people have been saying Solana's overpriced. I agree, but at the end of the day, says who? Says you and I. Says you and I that Solana should be worth 109 or it should be worth $500. And that's really where it all comes down to, right? Hey Saeed, how's it going, my guy? The younger you are, the more risk you can take. I'm over 40 and I do more risk management today. I converted some SOL to BTC. I agree for you. I agree with you, Cisco. You know, definitely if I was at a you know, if I was a little bit older, I would definitely be, you know, stacking up and sticking to the basics, you know, Bitcoin, sticking to my Ethereum, lowering my risk management. I think right now, because I am at this younger age gap, I have more to learn, which I could definitely say that I've effed up a lot, and I wish I had someone in my path to tell me, you know, hey John, like, you got to look at this side, you got to, you know, look at this, understand the way the market moves. I've been in the market since 2017, right? And even till this day, I learn every day something new, not only about myself, but about the markets. And realistically, the thing is that no one really knows where the top or the bottom is for Bitcoin. I mean, really, going all the way back over here, whoever knew Bitcoin was going to go ahead and reach these levels at $65,000? No one. That's the reality. No one. You know, no one ever knows. And the thing is that with Bitcoin and all these cryptocurrencies, we're just guessing and hoping and crossing our fingers it reaches these levels, because realistically, this is not enough data for us to do technical analysis. This is the reason why we have to do TA on an everyday kind of scale, because yes, we could go based on prior information, but in order for us to know and understand that Bitcoin was going to go to these levels, no one ever knew. This is the reason why a lot of people got wrecked during this time right here, because no one knew that Bitcoin had the capability of reaching these levels, unless, you know, the people that had the inside information and the people that truly believed in Bitcoin and understood Bitcoin, they understood, you know, with belief that it was going to one day reach these kind of levels. But for most people, they never saw it. So now that Bitcoin's reaching the levels that we're at right now, there's more people believing because we've touched these areas before. So that's why moving forward, after the next bull run, there's going to be more belief into the market making higher highs. So that's why I always say it just depends on like where and what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? My risk might be a little bit higher compared to other people. That's just because I have more to lose. You know what I mean? I mean, I have nothing to lose. I literally have nothing to lose. Like, I've lost everything in my last bull run. I lost my apartment, I lost my car, lost all my money, lost all my crypto. Like, I lost everything. So at this point, you know, that was what, I'm 25, 23, 20, I was like, what, 22, maybe 23, 21, around my 20s, early 20s is when I lost everything. So it's like, I've been super broke and I've lost a lot of, I've been super broke, made a lot of money, and I lost a lot of money. And I'm back to square one, right? I'm back to square one from where I was grinding early on in my early 20s in sales. So I'm honestly at a point where, like, I never expected any of this to happen, but I guess you learn from experience, right? So that's kind of the reason why. But my risk management is lowering out. As I'm getting older, now that I'm 25, I'm like, dude, I can't be making these dumb mistakes again, right? It's like I made those mistakes last bull run. I can't be making the same dumb mistakes over and over again, right? So I am kind of minimizing my risk, and that's kind of the reason why moving forward, I look at the market a little bit more. Like, I don't go based on my emotions, you know. Back, you know, last bull run, I was going based on emotions. I was going based off what every crypto YouTuber was talking about, you know. Oh, this thing's gonna go to $1, let's buy. And that's what I was basing off my analysis off, right? And I was just hoping, crossing my fingers, that the influencer that was telling me that information was right, even though I was seeing signs the market was going to do otherwise. So that's why right now I'm in a point in my life right now where, you know, I've lost everything already, so there's really nothing else for me to lose. Like, I've touched, you know, bottom, and I'm slowly coming up back up in my life. But I would say that right now, moving forward, we should go ahead and start having somewhat of a medium risk moving forward, right? That's the reason why when it comes to these meme tokens, I don't touch meme tokens as much as I used to. Same thing when it comes to doing, you know, certain TA on some projects. I like to go ahead and give you neutral sides, both positive and negative, because realistically, I don't know where the bottom is. I don't know where the top is, and no one does either. I mean, look at Plan B. What was his prediction? $100,000 on Bitcoin by when? Did that ever happen? Nope. You know what I mean? No one really knows where the market's going. Bitcoin can literally skyrocket right now to $80,000, and you're gonna have some people saying, I told you so, and then other people are gonna be like, when Bitcoin crashes, I told you so. So no one knows where any of this is going. And that's kind of the scary part with crypto, and what people need to understand, that even if you've been in the market since early 2017, no one really ever knew Bitcoin was going to reach $68,000 and above. I think now we're at a zone where a lot of people believe in it, and the ETF is definitely going to bring in more trust. And I think that's a good thing. Key says, I was 9 years old when Bitcoin came out. I can't believe my mom didn't buy none. Just weird. LOL. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash is lit. You know, they made Bitcoin Cash because it was too many people buying Bitcoin. I seen a documentary on it. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash is pretty good. The thing that kind of like opened up my eyes to crypto, man, even more. And I'm in the zone, dude, where like I question everything in life, dude. I question everything. Right? I question everything that freaking happens. I even tell people now, like a lot of people say Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation, but that's not true. If Bitcoin moves with the stock market and moves with the US dollar, tell me where it is a hedge against inflation. It's not. At least it's not a hedge against inflation yet. Will it be in the future? Yes, 100%. But is it now? I don't think so. And the documentary that opened up my mind even more was this documentary right now, which I'm going to go ahead and send to the chat if you haven't seen this video. I'm pretty sure this is what Key's talking about, right? And this is the documentary, only 21,000 views, and that should tell you the reason why, because the information that's in this freaking video is going to literally change your whole entire perspective of everything. Not only crypto, but literally almost life. Like, you're gonna question life for a minute, and if you're not that kind of person where like you get freaked out by little things like that, I wouldn't recommend watching this documentary. This documentary, after watching this documentary like a couple months ago, I was like, dude, everything's a freaking scam, man. This makes sense, and it tells you how Bitcoin is super freaking centralized and they're making everybody think it's not. But it doesn't mean that there's really nothing we could do. That's one thing I do have to say. There's nothing we could do about it. You know, you either join them or you're left behind. So this is the reason why I tell everybody, it's like, you can make fun of me about crypto and all that, but you're gonna have to adopt to it. And if you don't know how to use crypto, you're gonna be forced to use crypto eventually. And that's the reality of the world. It's either you adapt to it or you don't. You're left behind. Oh, happy birthday, 2022. You turned 22? Oh, in 2001. Nice. Happy birthday, Key. I'll put my million into Bitcoin especially. I agree with you. Black Ranger, how's it going? Cisco says, you already know so much about trading. The hardest thing to learn at your age is not getting emotional during trading, but rather stick to your plan, whatever happens. I agree with you, Cisco. One of the biggest things right now that I'm working on personally is really being a little bit more disciplined when it comes to my trading. Back when I was very successful with my trades, the last bull run was because I was disciplined, right? I focused on my price action and my target. I would exit every trade, you know. The thing that right now that's really messing me up with my trading that I'm working on is discipline. You know what I mean? Like, for example, after a loss of $20,000, which I was okay with, I looked at the positive side. It's like, what did I learn from this lesson, right? I literally just started leverage trading on crypto a few months ago, back in March. But I was trading options since 2017, and that took me a couple years to understand the market. I then pivoted from options to crypto, thinking that I knew everything because I understood stocks. Complete different ball game. So with stocks from the last bull run was ever since what I've been looking at the charts, right? So I started dabbling into leverage trading. Last bull run got wrecked once and I never touched it ever again. And then back in March of this year, I started dabbling with leverage again. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and learn this. I learned it. I finally understood how leverage works. I understand how the crypto markets move now. Now the thing is that when I was trading back in November and I made that money on that meme token, I never knew that I should have never put that much money into one trade, because a lot of these whales could analyze how much you're holding, right? I'm sure they have a system in the back end where they know your liquidation points. And as I mentioned, I've noticed that anything over $4,000 on a meme token with a 10 or 20x, when there isn't enough volume and volatility in the market, not only is it difficult for you to go ahead and close a position and take profits, but also it's easier for you to get wrecked if the market goes the opposite way. For example, I was trading Wojak. I was up a little bit over $1,800 in one day, right, in profits. I wanted to go ahead and close my position, and I only had a $4,000 trade in there, but it was a 10x leverage, so technically $40,000, right? When I went to go ahead and close my position, it couldn't close me out because there wasn't enough volume in the freaking market to close me out. So instead of $1,400, it closed me out at $800 profit. And I was really, really pissed, right? So I learned a lot November when I was trading these meme tokens, and now I understand not to put in no more than $3,000 to $4,000 per trade, especially if you're leverage trading with 10 and 20x. But I didn't know that, and then me not knowing that, I put $20,000 in Grok with 10 or 20x leverage, and then for my luck, it got an exploit literally the day that I entered my long, and it dumped 80%. So now I'm understanding this. I understand a little bit more of how, how the leverage trading is a whole different ballgame. Like you have investing, you have trading, like spot trading, and then you have leverage trading, which is a whole different ballgame. And when it comes to meme coins, it's a whole different ballgame too. People would tell me, hey John, why don't you use a stop loss? Because with meme tokens, using a stop loss gets you wrecked. They'll literally stop you out of your position and then the token moons. And the same thing with the liquidations. They liquidate you and then it freaking pumps like crazy. Same thing that happened with me with Pepe too, right? So I would definitely agree with you. One of the biggest things I'm focusing on this year, and the reason why right now I'm not going to focus on leverage trading for a few months until I dial down. I'm like literally dialing down on some courses. I look at a few traders that I really respect, like Andy from Bitcoin Senses, and a few other traders that I'm taking courses on to, you know, get back into getting that discipline, because I think that's the hardest thing with everybody, right? It's like you could do something, but if you're not consistent and you don't have the discipline of being consistent, that's where you get wrecked. And that's kind of like where trading's at, right? It's like anybody can make money trading. Anybody can make money. Trust me, anybody can make $500,000 to $1 million, whatever you desire in crypto, right? But how many people are going to be able to keep that when they make that money, right? And that's all through discipline. And I agree with you 100%. Key says, you should have, because that project is named 2.0 Pepe. Now, why would you keep that? LOL. Should have ran with that money, because I would. It's not the original Pepe. Yeah, I agree with you. Susan, how's it going, Susan? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Solana, holding 852 Solana. My son works for Solana. Very cool. Can we ever get an interview with your son? Convert at least some to BTC. No trader has ever gone broke taking profits. I agree with you, Cisco. No trader has ever gone broke taking profits. Susan, do you think Solana will keep climbing? I think Solana will keep climbing in the future. I think right now we're entering some very critical areas. I don't want to go ahead and tell you here exactly, as I told everyone earlier, you know, it's going to dump. I don't like making those kind of videos like, oh, Solana's going to dump exactly at these levels by, you know, March 25th. I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not here to be right? I'm not here to be right on my analysis. I'm just here to go ahead and understand where the markets are moving. And the more I understand the way something moves, the higher the probability I'm going to have moving forward, right? So just to go ahead and keep it very simple, as I told everybody, as long as Solana stays above where we're at right now, we're going to go up higher. We're the next area, as long as Solana doesn't fall below the areas of 101,479, we will go ahead and see the next area 144. That's going to be our next zone for Solana. As soon as Solana breaks down 101.479, we are more than likely going to retrace back down to around $73 and below. So that's very, very simple. I like to keep it very simple. I don't like to analyze, you know, Jupiter and Saturn and like the moon and calculate what angle is going to go ahead and predict what dump at what time. As I mentioned, I'm not here to be correct. I'm really not, and no trader is correct, right? If you're listening to a trader that says he's correct all the time, you have to start doing some questioning, because no one really knows where the market's going. But based on what I just said, focus on 101.479. As long as it holds above this area, we're bullish. As soon as we break down below it, expect Solana to come back down to $70. If it loses down to $70, then it's going to be $53. If it loses down below 53, then it's going to be 39. I don't think we'll reach these levels. I do think we could possibly reach around the 70 zone around right here. That could be the area that we could possibly reach. But I'm not here to go ahead and be accurate where exactly the market's going to top. You know, I'm just here to go ahead and trade. And if I get signs that Solana is going to go ahead and continue to pump back up, well, then I'll long. If I get signs that Solana loses support at 101, I'm going to start shorting all the way down to whatever price target I believe Solana is going to take. Yes, we are getting some very critical areas on the RSI, as you see right here. It is printing, you know, bearish indicators right now, but we don't ever want to rely on indicators like that. We just want to go ahead and stick to the basics, which is support and resistance, and that's it. Yeah, being emotional is one of the biggest things. I know the team isn't scamming. One of the biggest things when it comes to a lot of these meme tokens is understanding what you're there to do, right? You're there to make money. Same thing with a lot of these trades. If you're trading, you're there to make money. Forget the community, make money. You take profits. You know, anybody that's telling you diamond hands, don't sell, you're a loser if you sell. Yeah, you stay away far from that person, right? That's where it comes to where like the meme tokens, right? When it comes to investing, then yeah, just stick to what you believe in. If you believe a lot in Solana, you're better off dollar cost averaging right now. You know what I mean? If you're here to go ahead and buy Solana and sell in 3 to 4 years, just dollar cost average. Maybe you don't have the time to sit here and analyze the charts as much as I do, right? If you're trading the market, it's a different perspective. I trade the market, right? So I'm just looking at perspectives of where I would want to enter a trade. And that's why these are key areas for me that are very, very important, because I trade the market. And especially if I'm trading it with leverage, right? That's why price action is very, very important for me. The way it moves, the way the market's reacting, the way the DXY is reacting, because I'm a trader. If I'm focusing on investing, I really, you really, and I shouldn't really care about where the price action should go. That's just dollar cost averaging. Saeed, options is really creamy money machines. Yeah, 100%, bro. Saeed, I do options still. Nice, dude. Hey, Saeed, you know what's a good play for options, bro? Not financial advice. Look into crypto miners. Riot, Mara, and I think Dabmaster told us about another one, which was, I think it was BTT. Welcome everybody, by the way. Smash that like button for me. Turn on post notifications if you are brand new to the channel. But options print money left and right. I was trading options, but I took a break from trading options. I typically would trade AMC's a really good place still. Like I literally trade, like last time I was trading AMC was back in October. Riot, dude, Riot is a play. Like I'm going to be longing myself on Riot as soon as Bitcoin starts to dump. Like when Bitcoin dumps, if we have like a 30 to 40% correction, which I cross my fingers we do, I'm going to load up on freaking Riot miners and Mara, which are Bitcoin miners. They're in the stock market under NASDAQ. And these contracts, when Bitcoin makes new all-time highs, these will literally go up to $10,000 plus. $10,000 plus per contract, and you could get these contracts for probably as low as like $300 per contract. But typically you want to get them as soon as like Bitcoin starts to dump, and then buy them like 2 to 3 years out. Premium might be a little bit, but as I mentioned, if Bitcoin makes new all-time highs, which I'm sure it will, those miner contracts on options, bro, the premiums are so freaking juicy. Literally printing money out of thin air. If you see a meme coin named 2.0, get your bags and run. Seriously, bro. I agree with you. That's why they're called whales. RK, how's it going, RK? Glad to see you here, man. Thanks for sharing. I also was wrecked last bull run, lost 40K this bull run. I'm prepared, not taking too much of a risk. The other hard part is learning what to do with the money when you do get it. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you 100%. I'm glad you actually mentioned that. I think once you get the money, if you don't have a goal with what you're going to do with the money, you're more than likely going to lose your money back. Like, for example, when I made the money, I had no idea. I was like, oh, snap. Like, I have $20,000. What should I do with it? Like, I'm like, do I want to buy clothes? I'm like, nah. Do I want to buy jewelry? I was like, I don't feel like buying jewelry either. And I'm like thinking, I'm like, what would I do with this $20,000, bro? I'm like, I don't know what to do with $20,000. Like, I have nothing I really want to buy or desire. And I lost it all because I didn't know what to do with the money. This is the reason why when you get the money, you need to have a plan. Whether that's, you get your money, let's say you make $100,000, you put half of it into Bitcoin, you put half of it into a stable coin, and you do the other quarter, you take a freaking trip for 6 months. You need to have goals with it. This is something I'm learning too, because I've come across money so many freaking times, bro. Like so many freaking times. And I either always like lose it because I never have a plan to it. So I agree with Black Ranger on that. You need to have a goal with your money. So as soon as you make that money, you don't make the mistake of losing it and giving it all back to the market. Because trust me, there's a lot of people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars in this market, bro. Trust me. There's probably people right now making like $100,000 per day. And if they don't know what to spend with their money on, they're more than likely going to give it back to the market. And they're going to keep this cycle going over and over and over again. It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like the gamblers, right? It's like we just throw it back into the freaking market. So you do need to have a goal with what you want to do with your money. I agree with you on that. That's where the discipline comes in. Set targets, don't get greedy. I agree with you. Key says, S's ships below. I'm coming in your live and I'm gonna scream in the chat. I'm gonna go crazy and I'm gonna say I told you so. 850 line, because that's insane. 852, how much was that? Congratulations. 91, is that 91 million or 91,000? Susan. Yeah, and I think Solana is gonna go over $500. Yeah, take profit never makes anybody poor. I agree with you. Bonk. Bonk is a good play, but I think right now with where Solana's going, like let's say you have those $92,000, like if you really want to go ahead and get exposed to the market, I probably wouldn't put no more than like $1,000 or $500 into Bonk. Honestly, I just don't like chasing plays that have already happened. Like that's why for me personally, I mean Bonk is at a 938 million market cap. I think Bonk's gonna correct as well when Solana begins to correct. Let's go ahead and see where the 618 Fibonacci is at, because this looks like it's printing probably a head and shoulders pattern. But the thing is, like, I never encourage anybody ever to buy into a token that already has done its move. I mean, the good thing that I could tell you about Bonk is that it is on the 618 retracement, which is a pretty good sign, right? So as long as it does respect this level, we could go ahead and see a continuation with Bonk on reversal if Solana does continue to break to the upside. So you could still go ahead and expect Bonk to do some sort of reversal like this, which is very possible. So this is on the 618. So let's just go ahead and keep our eyes on this in the next couple of days. I would say if you're considering buying into Bonk right now, I would probably wait because we are at critical areas right now. And I'll go ahead and show you why we're at critical areas. So not only are we on the 618 on Bonk, but one thing that I'm really focusing on right now is the DXY as well. The DXY is almost getting ready for some sort of reversal. I don't think we're going to see that reversal. I think we might just continue to dump down to the 99. So I do expect the dollar to come crashing to 1.8%, which is not that much. So I do see the dollar possibly dumping down a little bit further if it continues with this momentum, which we already fell below its area of support, right? We felt this area of support already, so we are more than likely probably going to be coming down to the 99. As I mentioned, any kind of news source could literally flip the switch and the DXY reverses, right? But I do think the DXY is going to more than likely continue to dump, and if that does continue to dump, we could go ahead and see a reversal. We could still go ahead and see the market pumping until we see the DXY find its bottom, whether it's at 99 or it's right here at the 101. Then that's when we're going to be bearish. And this is the only reason why I'm saying, just be cautious, because we are almost at the oversold territory on the RSI. We haven't been there, but we're close. So our next two price targets are not 100. And depending if there's a reversal there, then it is definitely going to tank the market temporarily. There's going to be a correction in the market. And this is the thing that I'm looking at. And the only reason why I've been really bearish these last couple weeks, right? These last couple days, these last couple weeks, because of the fact that we are at this critical area of support with the DXY. But we have continued to fallen down. So I'm not surprised if we do see the DXY fall back down to the 99. Eventually, the DXY will go ahead and reverse. And then I do think we will go ahead and retest these levels. And that's where we'll have some sort of market correction overall. And that's where it's going to be time to quadruple down on a lot of positions before we have some sort of dollar collapse, which I don't think is going to happen this year, but who knows. I only say that because of the fact that interest rates are going to be coming down. They're already pretty much pricing in the price action of that. We have interest rates, so they're going to go ahead and be coming down early this year. We're going to go ahead and have the ETF. More people are going to be more bullish. And then we also will have the U.S. presidential election, which I highly doubt will go ahead and have the market crash during this time. They're not going to go ahead and allow the Muppet that they choose in office to go ahead and crash the market. That's going to be a very bad sign, right? So I think they're going to allow whoever they want in office come in first. They're going to let them do their thing. They're gonna go ahead and continue with inflation because they're only cutting rates temporarily. It's not gonna be a long-term thing, Chad. Just remember this. This is a temporary thing. This is in order just to get the market bullish. Eventually, they're gonna go ahead and start bringing in the rates again, pushing the price action up higher of the dollar, and then eventually you're gonna have to cut down the rates again, causing the market to collapse. And eventually there's going to be a top where the debt bubble can no longer be sustainable at these areas. And the reason why I'm saying this is not only on the US dollar. This is also on the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones. The stock market's reaching new all-time highs literally every day. Like, if you go ahead and look at the monthly right now, where we're at with the freaking Dow Jones, we're like literally at an area of resistance. We literally just actually broke above it today. We actually broke above it today, right? So I did say that even on the SPX and the what is it, the NASDAQ as well, we are at this area of resistance. Look at that. On the monthly, we're at an area of resistance. So we're completely overbought right now in the market. Overbought. We're overbought on the freaking stock market. The dollar has been coming down very, very heavily. It has to reverse. Bitcoin is overbought with no retracement. If you go all the way with Bitcoin, this is the reason why I've been bearish in this market now, you know, and the only reason why I'm telling you this is because I was bullish in a market around this time right here. I was bullish with Bitcoin at this zone right here when Bitcoin was at $20,000, when it was at $28,000, and people were like, John, you're fudding. Bitcoin's going to go to $17,000. It's going to go to $3,000. I'm like, dude, it's not. It's going to pump. So I was bullish all around this time right here where everybody was bearish. I'm bearish now that we're at these zones right here, right? I like to do the opposite of what, you know, usually people are thinking of. And if you go back to where Bitcoin has been heading towards, Bitcoin has not ever had a real retracement literally since we pumped. The biggest retracement we've had on Bitcoin has been a 7% retracement. That's the only retracement we had on Bitcoin. But if you go back over here, all the way back since 2020, you see Bitcoin pumped all the way from $8,000 all the way to $42,000. And when we found that top, we had a retracement of about 30%. After we were followed with that 30% retracement, then we had Bitcoin go from $29,000, reaching levels of $64,000. And if you measure this level from $64,000 down, that was a 50% retracement. You know what I mean? So we're followed by a 30-50 retracement and then a 70% retracement, which I don't think would be followed by a 70% retracement this bull run because of the ETF. But then we were followed with about a 77% retracement, which I don't think we'll be following, right? So until Bitcoin finds its top, whether it is at the levels where we're at right now, I mean, Bitcoin is looking weaker. I'll go ahead and tell you that. So there's more than a high probability right now that Bitcoin dominance is starting to go down, and we are more than likely going to be seeing Bitcoin test these levels at $36,000. But even if you measure that, that's not even that bad of a drop. That's 19%. So if we did want to go ahead and see a 30% retracement on Bitcoin, which more than likely we will be followed by, we'll be seeing Bitcoin come down to the levels of around $31,000 Bitcoin, which is around $29,000. That's if 44,729 was the top. Now, if Bitcoin, you know, the top is at 48,200, then a 30% retracement will bring us down to 33,000. And if it's from 54,000 with the 30% retracement, that would bring us down to 37%, $37,000 Bitcoin. So regardless of the case, a 30% retracement is required in order for us to go up even higher. So if Bitcoin does retrace to these levels right here, down, let's say 30%, then we're going to go ahead and go back up and make new all-time highs. Just that as I mentioned, the higher we go without an actual retracement, the harder we're going to fall. So because let's say we continue to pump back up and we see no 30% retracement, we might be followed, instead of a 30% retracement, followed with a 55% retracement, which would scare a lot of people and wreck the markets. This is the only reason why I've been telling everybody that we need a retracement, because we are reaching very, 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 very critical levels of the market. So this is just something for you to be aware of. I see more bullish sentiment, which I understand why a lot of people are bullish, but I was bullish around here. I was bullish right here in October. This is where I was bullish. I was bullish right here too. As soon as we started reaching these levels is when I started changing my perspective. And that's how you should be as well. You know, when everybody's bearish, be bullish. When everybody's bullish, be critical of the market and start changing their narrative of being, you know, the opposite of what usually people think. Jazz Tech, how's it going, Jazz Tech? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the channel. Smash that subscribe button for me. Smash that like button as well. Susan, thank you. I'm glad to see you here, Susan, and congrats on your gains. I do think Solana will go ahead and hit over $500 though. Should we short DXY? I mean, I don't do too much shorting on the DXY. I do think that if you were to short the DXY, there's a probability that you probably will make some money, a higher probability, because I do see that the DXY did lose this area of support at the 101, and we are retesting the 101688s, and we did get rejected again. So yes, if you are looking for an entry on the DXY, I think the entry has been confirmed, in my opinion, unless the day finishes in literally 2 minutes with the craziest freaking news where it just pumps a freaking dollar, which I kind of highly doubt it, because right now overall we're seeing the stock market still in green, and typically we get price action in already in the market literally a few minutes or a few hours ahead if something major is going to happen, right? Talk about freaking manipulation. So I mean, if you're looking to go ahead and short the DXY, then yeah, I mean, this would probably be your best confirmation. I mean, we lost major area of support right here where I thought we were going to go ahead and actually bounce back, and we actually did the opposite, right? So it did show a lot of weakness in the dollar, and this is actually why I was actually, you know, a little bit more bullish short term in the market. But overall, as I mentioned, I do believe we will go ahead and continue to possibly see a pump in the crypto market as long as the dollar continues to drop. So yeah, if you're looking to, you know, short the dollar, then it could be a play. It did break, you know, major area of support. SS SHIB. We'll go ahead and share. Put the smart contract on SS SHIB. Because the whole market is down, buddy. Yeah, you just have to understand that, like, the meme tokens on Solana, especially any meme token in general, they're going to go ahead and drop down a lot, especially if Solana corrects. So that's just kind of the only thing you have to worry about. As I mentioned, you either a lot of these meme tokens, they completely die off as soon as the underlying asset kind of drops, or the community is so freaking strong that it decides to do its own thing and it just continues to pump. But as I mentioned, Solana SHIB is at, you know, some pretty good strong areas of support, and this is the link if you want to check it out. It could only go up from here, right? The crypto market, yes. Damn, Keen, you've been in crypto since 16? I wish I was in crypto since I was 16. I'm not saying don't invest, bro. See, the thing is, I just kind of did this whole entire talk about what I just said, but pretty much what I'm just saying is, if you're looking to invest in this market long term, like let's say in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and you're okay holding, then just invest anytime. It's worth buying anytime. If you're looking to trade the market and go long, yes, it's worth going long right now, but just being at very critical areas of the market, because we are reaching very critical areas. So it just depends on what you're looking to do. You know, if you're looking to go ahead and swing trade and trade meme tokens, I think right now, based on what we're seeing, you should go ahead and probably stay in the sideline. Maybe, not financial advice. Because if it continues to dump, for example, if you're invested in Solana tokens and you buy Solana memes right now and Solana continues to dump, more than likely the token's going to dump another additional 60 to 80%. So right now we're at very critical areas. So if you could be patient in the next, today's Tuesday, in the next 3 days, in the next 2 to 3 days, then enter the market, because we'll have more information within the next 2 to 3 days. But as I mentioned, typically Solana is followed by this kind of consolidation period. So Solana is slightly recovering from what it looks like. But as I mentioned, look at that. As I mentioned, if Solana gets rejected one more time right here around the 116 or the 114, which I think more than likely we will, Solana is going to go ahead and continue to dump and come back down to these levels, back to 90. So I think this could be the top of Solana. I think we already reached the top, and I think the top was at this 126, which was on yesterday. I think the top of Solana was reached yesterday. That's what I think. As I mentioned, we are still at an area of support, though. This is a pretty good area of support, I would say. So it just depends on what you're doing. If you really want to jump in right now, just jump in. But just know there's a high probability that it might dump more. And it might dump 30 to 40%. Maybe. On the meme tokens. If Solana holds up pretty well, then this thing's going to reverse very quickly. And we will be seeing $147 and above. But as I mentioned, on the hourly, it's showing us weakness on Solana. Same thing with the dollar, is showing us like it kind of found a support and it's getting ready to reverse, but it hasn't confirmed full on yet. We are both at very critical areas. I mean, this could have just been a fake out for a lot of people, right? Because we were at this area of support and we lost that area of support, which is not a good sign. Our very strong area of support was around the 109,444. We fell below it and we climbed back up. So as long as we continue to go ahead and break past through the 118 and above, this is going to confirm that this was the bottom, that this was just a fake out and it was a bottom. But this is what I'm saying. Like right now, we're at very, 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 very critical areas. Overall, too, with Bitcoin too, I think Bitcoin's losing its dominance, and I think we're gonna go ahead and see Bitcoin probably fall back down to around $35,000 Bitcoin in the next couple days. If not, maybe even $31,000 Bitcoin. We could be seeing this drop. As soon as Bitcoin drops down below $40,000, it's going to be worth opening a short, in my opinion. So I'm getting ready to possibly short this market. So that's why I'm just analyzing this market. Because I wouldn't go long and I wouldn't go short right now. That's just me. I wouldn't long this market and I wouldn't short this market. If you're looking to go ahead and buy the dips on your favorite altcoins, then yeah, I would buy them, but just know that there's a probability there might be a retracement. But you shouldn't be worried because you're bullish in them, right? But if you're trading, I would be in the sidelines right now waiting for confirmation, because this is a neutral sign. This is literally bullish, bearish. We're like very, very critical areas right now where the market wants to dump, but no one knows whether it's in a dump or it's in a pump. As I mentioned, if a dollar dumps, we're more than likely, if the dollar dumps from here and just collapses and doesn't have a reversal by tomorrow or something, then yeah, the market's going to continue to pump. But the thing is, the market sometimes doesn't follow the dollar all the time. I mean, the dollar is down right now and Bitcoin's down as well. Well, see, the thing is, if Bitcoin doesn't go up, it's actually a good sign for altcoins, because typically for altcoin season to begin, we need Bitcoin to dump. So realistically, it's bullish for the market. So if Bitcoin wants to go ahead and top off right now, the market is going to go ahead and be followed by a temporary little correction. But it's the most bullish thing for Bitcoin, because that means the money from Bitcoin is now flowing into the lower cap altcoins. Because as you've seen, Bitcoin did its thing and nothing else pumped. Solana did its thing and nothing else has pumped. So as soon as Bitcoin and Solana have reached the top of the market, whatever their top is, all these other tokens are going to follow. Ethereum might have a breakout. You might go ahead and start seeing the SHIBs, the Doges. You're going to see all of these other tokens on other ecosystems on Ethereum break out to an upside and make new all-time highs. So realistically, the sooner we get the correction for Bitcoin and Solana, the sooner altcoin season is going to begin. Because Solana did its own thing. Like, Solana started during altcoin season, but it extended over altcoin season. So Solana is super, super overextended. So as soon as Solana reaches its top, all that money from Solana is going to go over into other tokens. It's going to go over to Ethereum. It's going to go over to all these lower cap altcoins right here. You know, maybe they might go into Uniswap, Cosmos. You've been seeing a little bit of these tokens pump, but everybody's main focus right now is Solana. It's 4 right now. So everybody that has money into other tokens are probably selling their tokens and going all in on Solana right now. Eventually, Solana is going to reach its top. So as soon as Solana reaches its top and it starts coming down, all that money is now going to be going into all these other projects. It's going to be going into these lower cap altcoins right here. When you go over to gaming, all that money from Solana is going to start going from all these projects right here in the metaverse, in the AI. That's where all that money is going to be going as soon as Bitcoin and Solana reach its top. So if you are a heavily investor in altcoins, you should be a little bit, bullish, because that means that a lot of that money inflow is going to go into these other projects. Obviously, this is just solely my opinion. I could be completely wrong, and it's not the case, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to go. and all that money is going to go into all these projects right here. That's why I'm telling you that while everybody's focusing on Solana and Solana meme coins, if you can and if you do have the money, start looking for these projects right here. Maybe start learning on how to use BRC20, because I got to learn how to use that, because apparently there's going to be a pre-sale with Bitland, which is on the 28th, which is when? That's in 2 days. So I got to figure this thing out quick in order for us to go ahead and take advantage of this. So I'm going to learn how to do this because there's going to be a pre-sale, and typically everything with BRC20 typically pumps, like literally pumps as soon as it goes live. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that. What is that, SS SHIB? I mean, Susan, I mean, the thing is, it just depends on what your goals are, you know? What price did you buy Solana at? Like, if you bought Solana at lower levels, then you shouldn't panic too much. But as I mentioned, worst comes to worst. The worst comes to worst is that Solana dumps. Worst comes to worst is that Solana comes down to these levels around 60. Around 69 to 70. So if you measure it from this top to this bottom, that's going to be a 30% retracement with what I've been expecting. I think altcoins could dump a little bit more. I'm thinking more of a 40% retracement. Maybe too much of a bull, and I'm hoping that something like this happens. But there's a probability that, you know, if Solana does lose support, we'll be coming down to 75 to around the 60 zones, or even as low as $60. Which is a 30 to 40% correction. So if you bought Solana at lower areas, like over here, and you're looking to buy Solana long term, and you're just adding to your bag, then I wouldn't be worrying too much about the price action. But if you bought Solana over here at around the $20, and you ended up you're up over $90,000, you know, and you didn't take profits, you should have probably considered taking a little bit of profits. Maybe take a couple grand of profits. So if Solana, let's say you have $90,000, right? Not financial advice, but let's say you have $90,000. Let's say you take profits right now for $5,000. You're down what to $85,000 still in profits. And let's say Solana drops all the way down 30 to 40%, then you're able to buy more at this level at $58, $59, just in case. Let's say Solana does dump 30 to 40%, you could just buy the dip. You just buy more Solana, and that's going to confirm Solana is going to go up. But let's say, you know, you were up $95,000 or $95,000, and you take out $5,000 of profit. Now you're left with $90,000, and Solana tanks, which won't happen, but it tanks 60%. Your portfolio now is worth 60% less, but at least you have some money to the side to buy the dip if you really believe in Solana. It just really depends on where you bought Solana and what your goal is. This is the reason why it's very difficult to say, you know, buy or sell, because some people are holding here for the next 3 to 4 years, right? So whether you're up $90,000 or $100,000, some people are just not willing to go ahead and take profits due to the fact that they're going to be holding long term. Is Solana going to dump eventually? It's going to correct. It has to correct, whether, as I mentioned, whether it's at 101, whether it's at 144, whether it's at 214, whether it's at $300, Solana is going to dump. It's not a matter of is Solana going to dump. It's a matter of when is it going to dump, right? It's not a matter of if. If is not even a question. It's just a matter of when is it going to dump. Is it going to dump when it reaches 213? Is it going to dump when it reaches 300? Is it going to dump when it reaches 500? No one knows. That's the only thing that no one really has control of. And that's why we have to analyze this market. And that's why I'm telling you, as long as you focus on these areas at the 101,479, as long as we don't fall below this in the next couple of days, we're good. As soon as we fall below it, then I could go ahead and tell you, yeah, it's going to go down to 79 or 69. But we don't know yet, because this is our first time ever having Solana dump after how many days of pumping? And this is a scary thing. Literally pumped for a little bit over 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So over 6 days, Solana pumped for straight for almost a whole entire week before it had a correction. And that's kind of the scary thing when we see breakouts like this. Typically, as I mentioned, Solana is followed by a consolidation period. So you might see Solana trade here sideways for about 5 days before it has the next leg up. And if this happens and we break 144, we are more than likely to see 215 within the next, I would say, probably the next 3 weeks. Key says, when I get paid on the 6th, I should have 25 billion more tokens. Millionaire status soon. Nice. Good job. But will it hit 500 eventually? Yeah, I do believe Bitcoin's losing interest too. Nice. Wall Street Pickers. How's it going, my guy? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the channel. Smash that subscribe button for me. Yeah, people are losing interest right now. I mean, the thing is, I think a lot of people, you also have to keep into consideration that as the year is ending, we already have, you know, all of corporate America mostly take already profits, right? They're already taking profits. If not, they're probably going to go ahead and finalize the year with one last final pump before there's a dump, right? Because typically what they do is that as the new year comes in, they need to go ahead and do some tax harvesting, right? So a lot of investors, a lot of companies are going to go ahead and purposely take losses to go ahead and move those over into the next year, right? So you also have to consider that. Some people might purposely go ahead, you know, wreck themselves in order for them to go ahead and carry on tax losses for the new year of 2024. So that's why typically we're followed towards the end of December, following early on with a dump leading onto the market, right, for tax reasons. So you also have to keep that into consideration. Yeah, but overall, market's looking good, as I said, until we go ahead and see any of these critical areas. I'm focusing mostly on the DXY chat. I'm focusing on the US dollar. I'm focusing on the US stock market. That's really what I'm focusing on right now. So until I see anything, I mean, Bitcoin's already confirming a loss of interest. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Bitcoin drop back down to $35,000, which is definitely going to shake up the market temporary. And some of the altcoins are going to follow. And then as soon as we have that dump with the altcoins, we're going to go ahead and have altcoin season, you know, come in. So it's actually bullish overall. So Bitcoin or Solana dumping is bullish. That's all I got to tell you. It's bullish long term, right? You should be more bullish because the higher we go, the more scared you have to be. Like, oh snap, where's the top? Where's the top? Where's the top? So as soon as the top happens, you're like, all right, the bottom's in. Let's go ahead and long the market. That's why I want you to be, you know, positive more than just look at what, as soon as we have a dump, just buy the dips. That's all I got to say. Not financial advice, but buy the dips if that happens. And as always, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at AltcoinJohn. That is one of the best ways to go ahead and reach out to me. You can go ahead and direct message me directly, and as well on Discord. Go ahead and feel free to join our Discord. Let me go ahead and give you the Discord link right here. And if you could boost the server, I would really appreciate that. If you have like Discord Nitro and you could boost the server right here for me, that'd be really helpful. As I mentioned, my goal is to go ahead and provide you as much information as possible. But my goal is to be neutral, right? You look up the token. Are you talking to me, Key? Let's see, what token was it that you sent me? Can you post the contract one more time? I think I might have missed it. So my goal, as I mentioned, overall is just to go ahead and stay neutral in this market, just to really analyze it, right? I'm not here to call tops. I'm not here to call bottoms. I'm just here for all of us to be aware and understand where the market's heading in order for us to pivot. So if it dumps, we have a strategy for dumping. If it pumps, we have a strategy for pumping, right? So that's all I'm here to go ahead and do. I'm not here to talk, you know, predict exactly tops and bottoms, because I'm not here to be right. Let's see if there's any other tokens, because I'm going to be ending the stream in about 5 minutes. Oh, we almost did a 2 hours live stream today, so that's really good. And welcome everybody. Welcome Susan. I'm glad to see you here. You know, Black Ranger, we got to get a collaboration soon, bro. Hopefully you get that laptop coming in. Keen, you know, always showing love as well. Wall Street Pickers, hopefully you subscribed, bro. RK, glad to see RK back. Dwayne. How high do you think bond could realistically go this bull run? I didn't see that, Dwayne. I apologize for that. Hopefully you're still in the chat, but this bull run, if we have like the huge bull run, I mean, we could possibly see what price action is Dogecoin at. Let's go ahead and see the price action Dogecoin is at. Market cap, what is it, at 12 billion? It's at a 12 billion market cap, so that means that Dogecoin at a bull run could probably double that, so we could probably be at a what, 24 billion. So realistically, not overhyping it, I think we could see Bonk do probably a 10 billion market cap. I think 10 billion market cap is really realistic. It could probably go higher, but as I mentioned, I'm not here to go ahead and you said send you it. Yeah, well, I didn't see the link. Key, yeah, it's Key. That's how you pronounce it, right? I thought you said K. Anybody else want to share any other links with me? Any more last technical analysis before I go ahead and take a break and figure out how to buy a freaking... Hey, by the way, chat, here, I'm going to give you this link right here because this is the link, this is the alpha Ganasas gave us. He told us this is like probably a 30x freaking pre-sale, but it's on BRC20, so it's on ordinals, which I don't know how to freaking use. I'm gonna have to go ahead and deep dive because the pre-sale goes live in about 2 days, so it's gonna be going live on Thursday. So depending on the time that you're watching this, I do also want to mention, chat, any of the tokens that we talked about, just understand there's a high probability they could dump, 80% chance they might dump, 20% chance they might do very well. And the only reason why I say that is because we were talking about mom token, and I never thought like the stream could do this, dude. I don't know who's watching, right? This is the reason why you got to be very careful. We were talking about mommy token, and this thing literally pumped live, like literally did over like a 5x live. And then as soon as the live stream ended, the token dumped. Like somebody commented, he's like, "Hey John, like as soon as you were done streaming, the token dumped." And I'm like, damn, dude, I hope you did not buy. So just know that any of these tokens that we're talking about right now live, you might make some money, but just also know that there's a probability it might dump as soon as we're off. I don't know how it works. As I mentioned, this thing was literally sitting at over 100,000 market cap, probably almost 300,000, or even probably higher yesterday. And apparently as soon as the live stream ended, like this thing dumped. So I don't know who's watching, I don't know who's pumping what. Just be very careful, right? Just be careful. Just know, enter your own risk, high reward. But I do want to go ahead and let everybody know what could potentially happen as well. Let's go ahead and see here, the last one. Son works for Solana starting January. They will give him 2,400 coins a month for 3 years. That's freaking nice. What is your son? Is he an engineer? I would like to go ahead and work at Solana. I'll be the Solana ambassador. I'll change my name to Solana John. Well, wouldn't that name sound pretty nice? Think about it, Solana John, man. Seems like Matic is gearing up for a pump. Syntex, how's it going, my guy? Glad to have you here, bro. Let's go ahead and see Matic. See some technical analysis on Matic. Ooh, nice. Nice. Yep, it looks like Matic's going to go ahead and gear up for another pump. So we were actually talking about Matic back over here at these levels. That's actually kind of crazy. Can't believe I forgot about this. So we were actually talking about these levels right here on Matic. I did mention that as soon as we saw a breakout to the upside, it was going to be very bullish. As I mentioned, this is kind of the reason why you never want to go ahead and go all in as soon as you get a breakout, because as soon as you get a breakout, there has to be a dump, right? And then we go ahead and get followed by another dump till we eventually go ahead and pump the last time, right? So we're actually seeing that right now with Matic. Matic has already broken previous areas of resistance, and it looks like it is gearing up, at least on the daily, before we get that oversold territory on the RSI. I would say ideally we could probably see Matic pump as high as a 20% pump in the next couple days to the next couple weeks. I would say Matic at $1.21 is really, really realistic. So be on the lookout for that. But we're gonna go ahead and see where this price action goes, because we are at a weak high right here, as you see. But it's kind of the reason why I'm saying it. As soon as we get that market correction, the sooner we're gonna have the whole entire market pump. Yeah, but pretty much almost every chart though, it is showing a little bit of the overbought territory. So just be careful on that. Ideally, seeing Matic come back down to around 90 cents or even 95 cents would be a pretty good entry point in my opinion. We could go right there and then just see it pump back up. I'm gonna be like Jim Cramer, right? That's his name, Jim Cramer, where he has that button where it says buy, 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 and like literally as soon as he announces something to buy, it freaking dumps and it collapses like 80%. Hey, he should buy me a house. That's nice. That's a good son. Congrats, Susan. Maybe you could go ahead and tell your son to help me out to get into Solana's team too, right? That'd be pretty cool. But anyways, chat, it seems like nobody else wants me to go ahead and talk about anything else. So I hope all of you have a wonderful day today. Make sure to smash that like button, turn on post notifications if you are watching or if you are new to the channel. I do want to go say welcome everybody. We're going to have a really, really freaking great bull run this week. Or not this week. LOL, send the link. What link? what link am I supposed to send? I'm a little confused. I don't know what link I'm supposed to send. I thought I was waiting for a link. I thought you were all going to send me a link. Oh, the pre-sale link. I sent it. It's thebakeryswap.medium.com. Thank you, RK. It's this link right here. I just sent it, but I'll go ahead and send it again. This is the link right here. It's an article, so I'll have to figure out how to go ahead and enter the pre-sale. From what Ganasas was telling me, he was saying that this is a 30x pre-sale. So I'm in talks with him right now. I'm trying to figure that thing out. Okay, so he sent me, here's an article. He sent me an article too here, chat. See, I'm going to be collabing with him very, very soon. But this is what he sent me. This is how you can learn how to... I guess buy the tokens. So he just sent me an article of how to buy ordinals. Yeah, how to buy BRC20 step-by-step guide. So go ahead and look into that. I'm going to go ahead and learn how to do this. And hopefully we can go ahead and figure this thing out together by the 28th. And hopefully by the 28th, we can go ahead and enter that freaking pre-sale. Because if that pre-sale, you know, prints as a 30x, dude, I think that would make my year. Like that would end the year for me really well, because I've taken so many L's these last like month and a half that I think it's time for me to finally take a win. You know, if I was to throw in $300 and I can make $9 grand off of this pre-sale, that's gonna be a good way to end my year. You know what I mean? Like that would be freaking amazing, dude. Like if I can just end the year with $9 grand in my pocket and then just wait for this market to correct and then freaking buy the dips and then long this market once again, right? So I don't know. I might throw in a couple more dollars in there, but I think $3 might be my max. Hey, he is him. Welcome, dude. Or he is him. Oh yeah, he is him. Look at that entry. What entry on what? What entry do you want me to look at? Okay, the pre-sale will be in bakeryswap.org. Okay, so thank you, Ganasas, for sending us that. I appreciate you a lot, bro. True hero, man. True hero. See, chat, this is why I tell you that you all have to go ahead and, you know, network and connect with more people, because I don't even know how to do this. And I've been in this space for a while, and even things like this that seem very, very simple are pretty difficult. And you only learn from one another, right? So go ahead and shout out to Ganasas, by the way, which we're going to go ahead and do a shout out to his channel too, because, you know, he's been very, very helpful to us. By the way, go ahead and make sure to show some love by using my BingX link, $5,000 in sign-up bonuses, as well Bybiy, $30,000 in sign-up bonuses, MEXC. I know a lot of people have been kind of in between with MEXC, but you have these exchanges right here, and I am looking to partner up with more exchanges. And then NordVPN, which is offering 69% off with 3 months, right? And then go ahead and show some love to our buddy right here that gave us alpha on freaking the pre-sale. So go ahead and subscribe to his channel, smash the like button. Go ahead and do me that huge favor, chat. Because of him, we're gonna enter possibly a pre-sale, right? Oh, he hires the engineers. Nice. Oh, so he's a recruiter. That's pretty cool. I wish I was an engineer, man. I was learning how to do coding and I just never really stuck to it, but eventually we'll get there. Anyways, chat, really do appreciate every one of you. Smash that like button for me. Make sure you have a wonderful day today. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, depending on the time you're watching this. Do also know that anything that we're talking about, it's solely my opinion. Super high risk, high reward. And go ahead and support the channel by using my links down below. Thank you very much.